In this video, we're going to show how to display a right-of-way marker in our cross sections. So to do that, first I'm going to place my right-of-way line out here in plan view. I'm using a feature definition existing right-of-way. I'm just going to draw that out here, and then for the elevations for that, I want to use quick profile from surface. I want that line to lie right on the existing ground. So that's my element, and that's my surface. I'm going to reset. And then let me cut a profile view for this element. And finally, we'll set this existing ground profile as the active profile for that element. As soon as I do that, we'll see it pop up over here in our 3D view. And the fact now that we have a 3D line string that crosses our cross-section named boundaries here, that's enough for that to be available to be annotated in our cross-section sets. So before I switch over there, I want to show I use the existing right-of-way feature definition, which calls this existing right-of-way feature symbology. You'll notice in here there is the ability to define dynamic cross-section element template, but there's no ability to show for the regular cross sections, and the reason that is because it's done through the annotation tools. That's just going to be annotated like any other point or segment in the cross section, so it doesn't need anything special here in the feature symbologies. So let's switch over to the cross section that we're going to look at. We'll just pick 200 here. And we can see that when I initially ran my cross sections, they're already annotated, with the grid, and I have annotation at different points. I don't have anything up here at my existing ground. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn off that annotation. So we'll remove the model annotation there. And I'm going to modify that same annotation group that was used to add in a right-of-way cell from a right-of-way. So we'll go to annotation groups, their cross section, and the one it used was this cross-section grid with annotation. I'm going to modify that. So in this annotation group, we can see that the grids and slopes are annotated. We have some point annotation already with offset and elevations and leader lines. And so what we want to do is add just one for our right-of-way cell. So I'm going to add a new one on here, and it's going to be a point annotation. And it looks like it's trying to annotate every point in there, so I need to filter that out. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is click on the where to add a filter. And I'm going to double click on point feature definition and choose just that existing right-of-way feature definition. And then add that as an expression. This will filter all the points in the template to just the ones with that feature definition. And then it'll put this annotation on over here. And what I want is not text but a cell. I do not want any kind of leader. And then the cell name I want is the existing right-of-way. So let's get down here and find that. And then I happen to know that I do need to scale this cell up a little bit for my cross section. So I'm going to add an XYZ scale. And there, once I have that set up, it's going to annotate that feature definition with this cell, and I can give it a name out here. And then finally, to apply that, since it's already in the annotation group, I can just re-annotate my model using that annotation group. So I'm going to say use that existing cross-section grid with annotation. And when I place that, it does place my cell over here at the location of the right-of-way which we draped onto the existing ground. Basically anything that crosses the cross-section named boundary in the 3D view is going to be available for annotation. And whether we want text and leaders or whether we want a cell, however we want to see that object here in 3D is controlled with the cross-section annotation definition.